This episode of After the Table is brought to you by Crescent Moon Alchemy Co. Crescent Moon Alchemy Co. is a Houston-based and eco-friendly shop for all your fantasy needs. I also happen to know the CEO, Michaela. We went to university together, and whenever I heard she had a nerdy company, I had to get on board and join the ranks of fans of their products. Whether you need dice potions to bring up your life total or pack things in their ultimate game night backpack, they have what you need to make your game nights go perfectly. Use code Shelly10 for 10% off your next purchase, and make sure to tag them on social media whenever you get it. That's Shelly10 at Crescent Moon Alchemy Co. Hello, and welcome back to After the Table, a TTRPG podcast. Y'all, I can't believe it. We are at the penultimate episode of season 3. If you don't know what penultimate means, it means we're at the episode before the season finale. And, I mean, it is Pride Month, so I figured I'd invite my favorite person, who just happens to be a little gay, on the podcast. It's also kind of a selfish thing for me, because then I can just hang out with them. I have a reason to hang out with them. But yeah, this season, it's been so cool to be able to talk to the people that I have been able to talk to achieve the milestones that I've been able to do, and it's all because of y'all. And my wonderful guest, and I just want to say thank y'all so very fucking much. So, this week, we have Twitch partner, storyteller of St. Arnott by Night, and founder of a new tabletop RPG channel called No Safe Rolls. Welcome to the table, Bree, aka Tactical Pinup. Hi,
friends.
I saw that you were about to drink, and I was just like, I should let you drink. Yes. Hello, my darling dear.
Hello, my delightful human being. You.
I'm not delightful.
You are.
I don't know. I don't know who keeps telling these lies.
Stop talking about my friend like that. I don't tolerate it. Thank you very much. You are delightful. You are a scrumdiddlyumptious human being.
I try.
Stamp. Anyway.
I try. Well, like I said before, this was kind of a selfish thing, because, you know, I just want to hang out with you and talk and shoot the shit and talk about vampire.
Yeah.
And everything like that. I love here's the thing. My favorite episodes is whenever I get to talk about Vampire and World of Darkness. So, you know, yeah. For those who might not know who you are, let the people know. Drop some knowledge.
I'm Bree, or Tactical Pinup, and I am a Twitch partner. I started out playing video games on Twitch. Big games that I played, a lot of games I played were first-person shooters. But then I became a mom, and I stepped away from broadcasting to be a mom, and yeah, it was hard. But then after several years, I came back because I needed that creative spark, and I tried to play video games again and do charity events and kind of the same thing that I enjoyed previously, and I came to realize that I like a different type of content now. And it's not that I don't enjoy those video games and whatnot. I just don't enjoy making that content anymore. And I wanted more creativity, and I love TTRPGs. And so I was like, F it. This is what we're gonna do. And then, yeah, that's how everything happened.
Hell yeah. I am so envious of you. One, because of like how long you've been on the platform, but also like just like how you really have just got everything started with No Safe Rolls. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Because I want to know your TTRPG origin story. I want to know how you got into the playing the games and all that.
So I was like 16. And my friend and my other friend um, we're like, hey, do you want to come over to our other friend's apartment after school on Friday? Because I went to a public charter high school in downtown St. Paul, Minnesota. And they're like, we just walk over there. And I'm like, all right, cool. So, like, not knowing what I was getting myself into and knew I was going to spend the night, um, just walked with them after school and ended up happened to be my friend's boyfriend. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was dating a 20-something-year-old, but I digress. It's fine. It was
hey kids nowadays, this is the life of millennials.
Yeah. So. Don't be like us, okay?
Don't be like us.
Don't be like us.
We're not a great example.
We are not. And so we went over to her boyfriend's studio apartment, and they were playing Vampire the Masquerade, and that's what they did every Friday night. So I was like, sure, I'll jump in. Had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, all right, cool. So it became a ritual. Like every Friday night, we would go over to his apartment. And it was like, we'd go over to his apartment. We would walk across the parking lot to this delightful pizza place called Casetta's and get like the largest pepperoni pizza. It was like the New York style one. Bring it back. And we'd eat pizza and play Vampire the Masquerade. So that was... And then I became obsessed, and then...
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. And, yeah.
What edition of Vampire was that? Was that V20?
No. Oh. No, this was like 2000... I'm going to date myself. This was like 2003, so we're talking like second edition.
Oh, like... Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was... And then, like, shortly after that is when I started playing on Sanguinus, which is run by my very good friend, aka Matt Stormcrow, who is...
Shout out to Matt
and Jackalope LARP Studios and Night in Question, which I'm so excited for, but
we'll get into that.
But yeah, and so that's when I really developed a love of Vampire and World of Darkness, and that's when I started collecting all the books, and I started like going on eBay and buying like book collection lots and stuff, and just immersing myself in the lore and becoming obsessed, and finding my favorite clans and all that stuff. So, and then yeah, that's my origin story.
Were you a vampire girly back in the day, back in like your high school times?
Oh yeah, I was like, listen, okay, I bought shit off of vampfangs.com, not sponsored.
Do they exist?
Yes, they do, because I still buy vampire fangs from them.
Hey, Vamp Fangs.
I mean, why not? And then I did have, oh my god, it was like MySpace, but it was for the goth kids, and I can't think of the damn name of the social media.
I know what you're talking about, and I can't remember either.
It had to do with vampires, and I can't think of it.
I can't remember.
Anyway, yes.
If you're an elder millennial or Gen Xer that was on the internet during the early 2000s, let us know in the comments, please, because I don't remember.
I can't think of the freaking name. I can see the webpage. I can see the login.
That is crazy.
I can all of that in my brain space, and I can't think of the damn name of it. But anyways, yes, I was a vampire girly. I had like a long trench coat with like the gothic crosses on it and everything, and like the demonia boots. Like I had these. I miss them. They were these delightful wedge heels that like had a sexy heel, so like it jutted out and on the bottom, so it was like this like S form, and then it corset laced up all the way from the back, the bottom of the heel all the way to the back of the knee. Oh my god, I miss them.
I was not cool enough to have that. I was also very poor growing up, so like
Oh,
I
I
wish.
cleaned a lot of houses to be able to
Ah,
afford those boots. Like I was like $10 an hour. I'll clean your house so I can
come
afford
on.
my gothic delightful clothing.
My mom was very much of the uh we buy clothes from like Sears on sale, buy clothes from Walmart. So you're not getting. I was very much an emo kid growing up, so like there was no getting goth clothes unless I like bought them myself. So
So
I fully understand.
my mother was like ultra scary Christian during this time.
My mom, she was
Oh,
just always working, so
my mom, like, we went to a mega church growing up. So, like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
this explains so much.
Right?
This explains so much in the game that you're going to talk about
So
later.
much. Yeah, no, I was not kidding when I was like, I'm going to draw on my own personal religious trauma. Like, yes, yes, we are. Because yeah, I was a little gay emo kid in the early 2000s, uh, going to a church that was a mega church. Um, and yeah. So my mom like didn't like me having vampire stuff, which I loved vampire stuff. Like I was listening, okay, dating myself again. I was listening to like Kitty at the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like Paper
Kitty.
Doll and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So my mom
Oh
freaked
God,
out.
what was her name? Emily Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, definitely listen to Emily Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
God, guys, don't do it.
But yeah, no,
Don't
it
do
was,
it,
it
kids.
was it was like it was that and like fucking Nightwish and like all the so my mom like she freaked out over my music and was like took me to this like Christian bookstore and like they had a heavy metal section which like basically was like Skillet and that was back when they were
Yeah.
like a Christian band. Um
Oh my God.
and she dragged me to a Christian
Evanescence.
yeah.
Back when.
She dragged me to a Christian music festival here. Yeah. Like you want to talk about indoctrination, man.
Jeez Louise.
It was
Oh my gosh. I will say back in my here's the thing. I've said it before on the podcast. I was reading uh I was reading Anne Rice books, The Interview with a Vampire books in high school
mm-hmm.
as like a freshman. Should not have. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh no. I mean I was
My
like Queen of the Damned, like read the
Queen of
book
the Damned. I
before I
got
saw
through
the
most.
movie.
Oh God, I love that movie, guys. That movie.
Rest in peace, Leah.
I so good.
It
It
was
was
it
so
is
good.
I like the book is better. The book is
The book
always
is
better.
way better. It's always better.
But, however, comma.
However, hey,
it's
yeah,
kind of like for those of us who enjoy like the gothier darker side of things like you
mm-hmm.
just can't help but be like I love this when you see
it's also like the new metal stuff of the early 2000s and
mm-hmm.
like oh God, I can't remember his name. The lead singer of Korn was doing the whole soundtrack, and so like he was singing on the movie. He like helped with getting all the people for the soundtrack, and so it was just like a bunch of bands that we were just listening to back in the day.
Literally
So
like between that and I'm gonna be so fucking for real the Matrix trilogy and that soundtrack
so good. Oh God.
I will fight somebody that is it's so good it's so good
God. So good.
but like it was that kind of like style and everything that like and I was fortunate enough to have a brother who was 9 years older than me, so I
Oh.
got like I was introduced to like grunge when I was
Oh
like
yeah.
5 years old. Like my brother loved Nirvana, and all of those bands,
Yeah. I had a cousin that was 6 years older than me, and so like
There you go.
grunge and like all the hip hop stuff of the 90s, and like I listened to yeah, like Nirvana and Bush and Beastie
No
Boys
Doubt,
and
and
No Doubt, Tupac, Biggie, like
yeah.
Snoop Dogg, literally. What was it? Halsey. Halsey was just like, there was a line from like one of her earlier songs, like listening to Nirvana and Biggie, and I'm like, yeah, that was me.
That was me.
That was me, kids.
Yeah.
And like, I loved. It didn't help that whenever we were kids, we had like we would listen to one band, but then like we would go on LimeWire or Kazaa
Bro,
and
like I existed
and download.
before that. It was like
Same.
sitting at my little fucking shitty
Boombox and
boombox
just like
and just have
you're
my
calling
tape
the
and
radio
like, I
station.
know, and requesting the song
Oh
and then just like
god.
fucking waiting so that you could record the song onto your little like cassette tape. But yes,
I,
and
I
then
totally did that for Gangster's Paradise.
who didn't? I did it
I
for the
totally
fucking
did.
Macarena, okay?
Oh my
Like
god.
like it was yep, that's how old I am. Fucking ancient. But yeah, no, LimeWire or Napster or any of that.
Napster. Kazaa.
Fucking
I didn't do LimeWire,
MySpace.
but I did do Kazaa and
Oh, I did
Napster.
LimeWire. I'm certain that my family computer had more viruses than the CDC database. Hands down.
For sure.
Hands down.
For sure.
And there was nothing worse than like starting a download, going to school and coming home and realizing that it just like shit the bed 15
Yeah.
minutes after you left the house. So like,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Uh so you got into the world of darkness through Vampire, but did you explore any more of the world of darkness?
not until much later, honestly. I didn't start exploring other aspects of the world of darkness until like I don't know 10 years after I'd been in like vampire stuff. Cuz that just piqued my level of tism that I was like, yes, please. And I became obsessed with it. But yeah, I started looking into werewolf, which I was like, about. Mage is really intriguing. I could give you a dissertation about how much I hate sorcerer though. Changeling is I know a little bit about it and it's intriguing to me, however, I also it didn't pique my interest. Nothing has quite piqued my interest like Vampire did. I love D&D though. Like I started playing D&D. I started playing I in high school there was a brief period where I played Magic and that kind of stuff. That happened because somebody went, "It's your birthday. Here's the sliver deck. Play with us." And I went, "Okay."
Not a sliver deck.
Yes.
They're like, hey, here's evil.
They gave me a sliver deck, and then they like we played Mana Rush, and so like I could do fuck all. Like I could do anything I wanted because I had all the mana in the entire god. Anyways, that's a whole ass other story. But I think
God.
it's because the person that gave me the deck had a crush on me. So
Yeah.
But it was also
happen.
it was also my birthday, and they were like, "Here you go, this is your present."
The birthday present.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I started playing all sorts. I mean, like, and I'd always been into video games. Like, the first video game I ever beat was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So,
gosh, yeah,
there's a little lore for you.
Yeah,
That was on Xbox 3 or no, it was the original Xbox is what I played it on. Original Xbox.
God.
Yeah. Just Xbox is what it was
Xbox.
called. Just Xbox. And it had a giant fucking controller that was so ridiculous. That was the first video game like that I truly beat. But like, I played Star Fox on the N64. My brother had an original Nintendo, so we played all sorts of games on there, like original Zelda. Um, my brother had one called Skate or Die. Uh,
Oh God.
90s skater vibes, like
Yeah, very
Jesus,
much.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, I'd play Mortal Kombat with my brother, and I would
Blah,
button
blah.
mash him into the fucking wall, and he got so
I did
mad.
that. I did that all the time.
Mm.
Button mashing in my fighting games was how I beat a lot of people. I was just like, hey,
Button mash,
like,
yeah, get the upper hand and button mash to you, yeah. No, 100%. That's why I'm in awe of like those people who do competitive fighting games with
oh
like the
yeah,
fighting boards and stuff. I'm just like,
I know.
how?
Because I was able to do a little bit of that, like on the arcade, because those remind me of like the arcade boards a little bit. I could do that a little bit in the arcade, but like,
No, they do like the
nah,
fucking combo moves. I'd be like, I don't.
no,
When I
I
would do a
can't do
combo
that.
move, it was like
No,
it was like, oops, I did a combo move. It wasn't like an intentional thing. So
yeah, that happened a lot.
yeah, yeah. But
What? I guess. How did you move from playing in the World of Darkness to running World of Darkness games?
um, I basically couldn't find a game as a player. That's kind of
As is always the way.
as always is the way. Um, and so yeah, I've always been really, really, really creative. And I've always enjoyed writing, and so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like nobody showed me how to storytell. I basically looked at my favorite storytellers who I'd played at their tables and went, I'm gonna do that, and then all the stuff that I didn't enjoy or that seemed really fucked up to me, I went, I will have none of that. So that's how I got started storytelling, and I have come to learn that I actually enjoy storytelling more than I do playing at the table. Um, and a lot of times it's really cool to be able to like just drop a little seed into the middle of your group and then watch them run with it. Like that's probably my favorite thing is on Saturday nights when you guys start riffing off each other and start just going back and forth and I can just sit there quiet. Like that's the coolest fucking thing in the world because you're taking something that I built completely from scratch and you guys are running with it and you're exploring it and you're interacting with it, and that for me is just the coolest part of it. So
Hell yeah. How did you get started with actual play though?
um I've always been a huge fan of Critical Role, and I love what they do and how they kind of have brought like a whole new element to the actual play space. But then I also watched LA by Night and loved that. Um, but I realized, yeah, right? Like it was beautiful. And plus, like I knew Eric Ishii from back when I was a broadcaster. Her and
Hmm.
I participated in a charity event called Extra Life United, which benefits the Children's Miracle Network hospitals down in Florida. We did that. And so like I knew her from there. And so being like, oh my God, dude, this is so cool. Like, how did you get into this? Like, holy shit. And getting to watch her like just flourish in her career has been so cool. And just like having, gotten to participate way back with her. Um, so like seeing both of those and going, I want to do my own spin on this. And you don't have like there's not many TTRPG production companies out there, right? Like there's just not. There are tons of groups that are doing things, but there's not a lot of those groups doing things in like the World of Darkness and indie game space. Um And so I was like, fuck it, why not? Fuck it, why not? And so Saint Ardent is my first actual play, like running an actual play. Um, and like I just knew that I wanted to create something really cool that had a lot of production value, that was enjoyable for viewers, um, and got to highlight something that is so close to my heart, which is vampire. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I jumped in, and then I went, "Oh, this is fun. Let's try and do this on multiple levels. Why not?"
Let's go full force into it.
Let's go full force into it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Why
Just
not?
why not? You know? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
For those who don't know, I'm a player over at that table for St. Arnan by Night on No Safe Rules. And I've had the pleasure of being at your table since December.
Yeah.
December.
It's the beginning of December.
Yeah. For those who might not know about the show, what is St. Ardent by Night?
St. Ardent by Night is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play that takes place in the city of St. Ardent, which is your quintessential Midwest metropolitan area. Think like Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Des Moines, kind of all in one. And it's right on the banks of the Waukegan River, which again, all of these are fictitious places and names and things, because I didn't want to be locked when I wrote this. I didn't want to be locked into a setting, and I wanted to be able to be creative and have fun with it and just be like, sure, why not, and be able to yes and everything and not have to worry about like stepping on the toes of like lore and whatnot. But yeah, it's a deeply religious city, where there are more churches and bars than there are people, pretty much. And it's kind of just, it's a place of struggle and a place of debauchery meets religion. And so, yeah, St. Arden is a little weird place, but it's our home.
Hell yeah. I play Mistress Lux, by the way, and who is not a local to St. Arnett, who's a transplant. And when you say debauchery, I'm like, yeah, she does. That's her cup of tea. Mistress Lux is exactly what you think she is. She is a dominatrix, and the fact that you and I was not and am not the only person playing a sex worker at the table. We also had a cam girl for a little bit on at the table. Uh, what made you say yes to allowing players play sex workers? Because that's usually something a lot of STs and GMs will kind of shy away from because they don't feel very comfortable with it.
I believe that sex work is real work. Sex work is valid. There's many different types of sex workers. And I firmly believe that, like, though I may not be part of, like, say, the sex work community or the kink community, for example, I have friends that are. And any opportunity that I can highlight those communities in a positive light, I'm going to do it. So when players come to me and they're like, I want to play this and I want to show it in a positive light, and be very sex positive and be very gender positive and all of the things, I'm going to always yes and that every day of the week. It doesn't bother me. Will I storytell graphic sex scenes? Absolutely not. That is not my cup of tea. No, thank you. Fade to blacks. Great. Beautiful. chef's kiss. I like to read romantasy. I don't want to storytell it on my channel. So, there's always those limits and whatnot. And again, it comes down to like, I firmly believe that, especially when you're dealing with cases of personal horror and in World of Darkness, like safety tools are so important. And there is such a correlation between what the kink community does and what I like to do and what a lot of storytellers or GMs like to do at the table, to ensure that everyone is safe and everyone, like, your character can be terrified, your character can be horrified, your character can be going through immense trauma. I don't want my players going through immense trauma. I don't want my players in terror or whatnot. So anytime that, like, again, I can draw that correlation to creating safe space and showing sex work in a positive light, like, I'm gonna do it.
And we thank you for it. The fact that the first episode, it includes several scenes of several characters stepping on a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back and listen or watch it / listen to the episode. I was just like,
Yeah. He might show back up again after you got him fucking kidnapped.
We're gonna just kill him. No spoilers.
Probably. Listen, you left him at a hunter's cell, like, center, basically, or like their fucking HQ, and you're like, yeah, this is not a problem. It's fine.
But as you said before, St. Arnett is not. It draws on a lot of cities. That's would be close to, if it was actually in the Midwest. But it is your own city. Where have you? I guess, gotten your ideas for the history and like how the city operates within the World of Darkness?
So I took a very heavy, very, very heavy, influence of, like, me understanding. It's like, my family's been from the St. Paul, Minneapolis area for generations. I mean, they came here in the early 1800s. So, like, this is home for, a lot of people in my family, who have not moved outside of this, at least on my mom's side. My dad's side's, that's a whole other story. But I have gotten to learn a lot of the history of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And so, like, knowing fur trading and manufacturing and stuff was, like, a big part of that. Being able to draw on that history when creating St. Arden, was very helpful. And so I took creative liberty and, like, turned things and twisted things. But I knew that I wanted to highlight also the Native American community, and really highlight the story of them being pushed out of their ancestral lands, because not everybody knows, but I'm biracial. Like, I'm Native American from my dad's side, and then my mom is as white as you can get. She's neon. It's fine. But I wanted to highlight that because that is something that I grew up knowing, and I actually got in trouble in school, like in 3rd grade when we're studying the Trail of Tears. And I'm like, yeah, this is what actually happened, and this is what happened to my family. And my teacher was like, they're too young to know this. And my dad's
please don't scar them.
please don't actually give them actual history, and let's just give them the whitewashed version. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not. So yeah. I wanted to draw on those and my own lived experiences. And that's kind of like where the basis of it came from. And then also just like it's a running joke in the Midwest that most towns, they'll have a church and a liquor store on the same street. And it's fucking true. Most towns have several liquor stores and several churches. It's a running joke. It's an absolute running joke. So I was like, well, what if we made a city that's that times 100? And then
oops, all churches.
Oops, all churches. It became oops all churches.
Oops, all churches.
And then like but also the correlation between like super seedy, like really fucked up aspects of manipulation and whatnot in the church, and like mirroring that within the Camarilla and vampire culture and whatnot. So
fun.
That's where my brain went.
Fun. Yeah. Hey. But so this is your first time kind of diving into V5 though, because you're primarily, before this, you were a V20 player.
I was a V20 girly through and through.
Like, you are a true believer of the V20. What made you decide to not do V20 and do V5?
I really, really like, one, the rule of 3 when it comes to the combat. I liked not having to make players roll initiative. I also, because listen, I have been in combats in V20 that have lasted 6 fucking hours. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb and it's boring, and it's boring storytelling, and I don't enjoy it. I am a puzzle girly. I am a mystery girly. I am a thriller girly. I am not a combat girly. Most of my characters, when I was a player, would be like the most glass canny type of character. Like, my favorite character ever was a kindred, a Malkavian, shocker, named Calliope, who had 5 dots in demontation and had 1 dot in strength. Like, she was a noodle. She had noodle arms. She was like getting hit with wet fish. But if she went to torture you, like, your brain was fucked. It was turning into Play-Doh no matter what. Like, my average dice pool was like 9 dice to roll for any of her stuff. I can break a character sheet in V20 real bad, real quick, okay?
I know that I've gotten the comment from you whenever I showed you my character sheet for Ashley. You're like, oh, this is a multi-year campaign. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's also with a Diablerie in there though. So that also adds to it.
Yeah.
The amount of things that I have. So
no, 100%.
But what, I mean, was there an appeal, outside of just like not having to deal with the combat aspect, that you're like, V5's a little bit better, maybe?
The rouse system and touchstones and highlighting the side of humanity. I feel like V5 is more geared towards promoting storytelling and creativity and interaction than V5 is. Than V20 is, because V20 is very like, it's the answer to D&D, right? Like, it's,
yeah.
You know, I always talk about how Vampire the Masquerade is a game of consequences. It's not like, there are no heroes. If you want a hero game, go play Dungeons and Dragons.
And we've said it so many times on this podcast. If you're looking to, you do not play a hero. This is a monster game.
And it's in any faction, right? Like, any faction in World of Darkness, because you've got Vampire, which is the struggle of humanity and holding on to yourself. You've got Werewolf, which is we're gonna do some really fucked up things because of the environment and Wormtaint, and they're not good heroes either. Like, they are single-mindedly focused on one thing and one thing only. You've got Mage, which is basically the story of being a narcissist.
Yeah.
And, how can I get away and challenge the universe and what I can do? And that, that's a whole level of like self-entitlement and whatnot. You got Changeling, which is don't get me started. Anyway, but World of Darkness is not like, none of the games are games of heroes. There's not any game where there isn't, you're playing a villain. And it's how are you navigating that and still holding on to like the better parts of the world, you know? This thing's real fucked up.
Yeah, I put it in our side chat during the game. I unintentionally, because people are like, "Oh, what was it? The newer one of the newer books." Hold on. We'll edit this out. Shelly, edit this out. Um what
Is
was
it
it?
Tattered Facade?
Yeah,
Tattered Facade? Yeah.
the tattered facade, and it was I was looking through it because I have it, but I haven't like really gone through it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what there is for ministry or like some other stuff. And I looked at the archetype of procurer of pleasures, and I was like, oh no, oh no, this this is this is Lux, but this is definitely Star. That I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's the
yeah.
thing, is that like, and I really have enjoyed that recently, starting to highlight some of those things, because like the first, like, I would say probably the first 10 episodes were you guys getting comfortable, and you guys really like getting comfortable with each other's play styles and working together and playing at a table and kind of figuring out the world that you're in. And the last couple episodes leading up to episode 15, which we just finished, was like you guys starting to come out of your shells a lot. And I got to see that more. And that's been so much fun, because I've gotten to see, like, I've gotten to highlight, like, I got to highlight David's touchstone. I got to highlight Star. I got to highlight Nicholas and all of the fuckery that is baby harbinger of Asher. Without spoiling anything, he went through some shit in the last episode. And I plan on also doing that to all of you guys. So
I'm excited. And like we're not even we're I what like 6 months, if that, like as we're recording this, like maybe like we're going into month 6, and like what has been one of your favorite moments at the table?
oh god, there's so many. There's so many. You guys are so fucking funny. Like, I think like Ernest's cutlery of self-loathing, that was a moment where I could not stop fucking laughing. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world. Anili's pink bike is another.
That thing will keep popping up
I made
until
it. I made it into an emote for our Twitch
Oh,
channel.
I saw.
um the interaction between Nicholas and his sire, when I got to do that confrontation, and like that was intense. Your comments, literally some of my favorite, of just like your facial expressions and like the way that you've what'd you say? What in the Jason Carl's going on here? Like,
What in the Jason Carl?
what in the Jason Carl? Like,
I will say this, if you need a reaction queen, I am that girl.
you really are, and it's so funny and delightful, and like the shit that is said above table is probably some of my favorite. Like, you guys have amazing chemistry now, and you've fallen in step with each other. You know, Jeff, spelled with a PH.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just
I went back and watched that episode, like, before, like,
because you were
I
gone
came
that
back.
week.
Yeah, I was gone that weekend. And I was just like, what the fuck happened? That's why, like, literally, my reaction is Lux's reaction. Because I'm like, I was gone for 1 week. I was gone for 1 night.
1 week, and you
What
guys
the
decide
fuck?
to you guys decide to break into the goddamn, Science Museum of St. Arden and Conservation Center and decided to steal some shit. And before you were trying to leave and trying to escape, you see a gift shop, and Isolde has got to run in there and steal the biggest fucking elephant she can find.
Ridiculous. Just chaos.
Listen, I pretty much yes and you guys, unless it absolutely does not make sense.
Yeah.
I've said no maybe 5 times.
Behind the camera, definitely more.
Right. Well, sometimes you guys are like, but this, and I go, make it make sense to me and let's talk about it. Like, make it make sense to me. If you make it make sense to me, sure. But why? Like, it comes down to the but why. And if you can't justify it to me in a way that makes sense for your character, that tells me that you just want it because it's cool, and I get that, and that's wonderful, but that's not what we're gonna do here. So,
but I want cool powers.
Find a Zemitzi who's becoming a Tarkus or an Anarch that will even be willing to tell you these things.
That part. Yeah, no. It won't happen. With the amount of chaos that's happening at this table, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
I love your face. I do. And if I can figure out a way to give you that flesh crafting, sure.
However, kids. Flesh crafting. That's all I want.
You just want flesh craft, and I get it because it's cool. But like, I completely understand that flesh crafting is super fun and super cool. However, does it make sense?
Yeah.
No, it does not make sense.
Oh no, I'm saying I understand. Look,
it'd be the same as if Ernest had come to me and was like, I would like fortitude. I don't know, something that does not make sense for their character.
Unless he
takes the forbidden sip. I mean, the Banu Hakim sacred ritual.
Banu Hakim sacred ritual, yes.
Banu Hakim sacred ritual. But yeah, no, I am very much of the mindset, like, with character creation. Like, I'll say yes to you. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. I want to be able to look at your character sheet and see the story on your character sheet. I want to be able to look at your character sheet and know who your character is. Because if I look at a character sheet and you can't tell me why you have something, like, it's not that important to your character.
And that's just an important note for, like, GMs and STs in general. Like, you could say yes to your players, but, like, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can sell me on it and you can tell a story with it,
all
day, I'll say yes. All day. Or I'll even, I did this when I was storytelling for Elm, who plays Anili. He was making a Tremere in V20, and I was like, have you ever thought about taking Addictic Memory? And he was like, no, why? And I went, here you go, my friend. You will like this. And he come to find out he loved it, and it made sense for his character. I like making characters in V20 that take Infertile Vitae, and I make them hold prominent positions in the Camarilla because that just delights me, because they're feeling it their one job. Their one job to be a vampire is to create childer. Like, that is your one job that you have, and survive. But one job. And you can't even do that. So like for me, that's
I can't wait till we get the lowdown of who Ernest is, like, Sires was supposed to be, because I'm like, I want all the tea. Just as a, like, an observer, I'm just gonna be like, yes, yes,
there's
yes.
so much tea coming too. Like that's the thing. There's so much coming. Because you have Nicholas and all of his drama. You've got you, which I thought that was hilarious. How everyone was like, "Oh my god, you lore dropped last episode on Mistress Lux because I used her government name."
Yeah, I was just like, oh no,
oh, we're going there.
oh no. That's the she used my, like, full name. Oh no.
Oh no. I mean, no one else heard it in the party, so
Yeah.
they still only know you as Mistress Lux in character, but like to watch everyone's faces go, Sybil? What?
Sybil.
Really? So that was delightful. And I like doing those kinds of things. And like we got to see how possessive David was over the tribe and how protective he was. I was like, yes!
He's like, no. And I'm like,
David doesn't say no like that. What happened?
It's like, okay, bitch, calm down.
Right? Like, he's so protective over it, which I think is beautiful. But at the same time, like, it's lore dropping and this drama for you guys. And
I can't wait to get into Isolde's background and backstory too. Because that is a ball of mystery, and that I'm like, how are
she
we
doesn't
ever
even
touch
know
on this?
half of it.
Oh no, we don't have good memory at the table. Shit.
Yeah, we don't have good memory, and so things are gonna crop up. But one of the things I'm most excited for is some of that getting unlocked through her working with Ellie and training up the cobweb, her use of the cobweb, and her things that make her inherently Malkavian. So I'm really excited for that.
I also like the fact that Anili, how Elma's been playing Anili lately, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this group? We are literally you
guys are an amalgamation of the most fuckery that Kindred Society has to offer.
It's true.
You really are. And like that's been fun. Because so I built ShrekNet, as you know.
Yeah, by the way, y'all, let's get into this. Let's get into some of the shit that you've been having to pull, that you've been pulling off.
I try.
For those who haven't watched or watched a little bit of St. Arnett by Night, we get little clues. We have like a whole section of our Discord for the play, like in our player Discord, that is like, we get like certain things that get dropped and they're like hidden from us, and like we get not, I say tangible, but like if we were at a table, these would have been tangible objects that we would have been able to hold or like listen to. And it's been so fucking cool to see the production side of that. Like from somebody who's done production, I'm like, oh, that is fucking cool. And then you're like, I'm gonna have a wild hair up my ass and use my elder millennial
HTML
skills and build ShrekNet. To build fucking ShrekNet as a way for us to navigate, but also for the audience to navigate.
Mm-hmm. And depending on their Twitch tiers, like, they can access different parts of it. Like, if you're tier 2 or tier 3...
Your mind. What the fuck?
I don't know. If I get a harebrained idea and I go, this would be cool, I wish I had this, and I make it. That's how that works. But like there's an IRC chat where they can chat with a Nosferatu. You know, that's not AI, because fuck AI. It's just a database that anybody can look at on GitHub, you know, and it's literally just like just answers that they'll recognize from keywords. And I built a database and was like, here you go. And then there's like a message board for rumors and stuff. And so like throughout.
By the way, I love the one rumor that I'm just sitting on. Like, everybody knows at the table, but like none of the actual characters know of, like, Nilly might be
Nilly might be the actual native.
I'm like, you know, and Lux is just like staring at this guy like, this could be true.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a caitiff or
because how much blood sorcery has he actually done?
Just the vitae thing, and I'm like, that could be a thin blood thing.
Could be anything.
Yeah, could be anything. Could have diablerized somebody and got blood sorcery. He could have learned
blood sorcery from somebody. Yeah. You know, like there's.
I'm just saying diablerie because who the fuck knows? His maker is possibly dead. I think we got that little bit of lore last episode, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have plans there. See, I love it because like I just basically took your guys' backstories and went, how can I use this? Because like, if you get, I'm not saying players need to write like a 40-page backstory. Like, please don't.
I might have done a little bit of a multi-page backstory.
That's fine. Like anything under like 5 pages, I'm cool with. Like, give me a 5-page backstory. Like, cool, I can work with this. Like, I can run with this. I try and use people's backstories. I try and put people's touchstones in danger because it highlights those aspects that don't normally get highlighted. Mm-hmm. It makes the story hit harder. It makes the story hit harder when your players have that buy-in. And suddenly the world that they're in doesn't feel it doesn't feel removed from them. It doesn't feel like something that they're just interacting with. It's something
there's like real stakes.
Right. And it's something that's all encompassing for them. So I'm pretty sure I ask you guys after every episode, did you guys have fun? Like, especially the ones that are real fucked up. Like, I joke and I say, like, if you guys don't say, God damn it, Bree, at the end of the episode, I haven't done my job.
I didn't say it last time.
No. I didn't say it last Nicholas episode. Did, and that was fucking funny. And that's when I did something to his sister, which I won't spoil, but,
go watch episode 15. I was just like,
see, okay, I had to take 3 weeks off because I had elbow surgery, and so I've been sitting on this episode. Like, I wrote this episode possibly when I was high on painkillers, but that's beside the point. I had major elbow surgery and I needed to write an episode. And so I started writing that episode and it wrote itself. And the things that came out in it, I was like, oh, my poor players. But it's like, I finally get it when authors are like, well, this character had to die. Like, the story wrote itself. Like, that's 100% what last episode was. I sat down and started writing, and holy shit, that's what happened. And then, yeah, it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. Yeah. But I just always try and make sure that you guys are enjoying yourselves, because it's all good and wonderful if I am having fun. Like, at the end of the day, I want you guys to have more fun than I am. So,
you know, why not? Everybody can have fun. I'm just saying, everybody can have fun. So outside of St. Ardent by night, you decided to have the wild-haired idea to start your own studio, No Safe Rolls. Mm-hmm. What was the push to do that? Because you could have just kept it on your own channel and done all that.
I wanted to work with other storytellers, and I wanted to highlight other games. I wanted to highlight other storytellers from other communities. I'm a firm believer in we all do better when we all do better. Um and so I've never seen the TTRPG space as like a competitive space, right? Like I don't see it as like, oh, well, they have more viewership than me, or they're, X, Y, and Z or whatever. Like we all do better when we all do better. So when we all lift each other up, when we all work together, we create cooler and cooler things. Um, I wanted I wanted to create a actual play production company that highlighted not only World of Darkness, but like also some of those more indie games like Kids on Bikes and stuff. And I, wanted to do other aspects of the TTRPG space, other projects that I told you about beforehand that I'm not going to talk about just yet because they're still in the works. But I wanted to create a space where it wasn't just my voice that was getting uplifted, which I feel like Tactical Pinup the channel was that. Like that was all me. I didn't want to continue on that channel because this is more of a project that encompassed so many people, and that I wanted to encompass so many people, and I wanted people to feel like they had ownership in it as well, not just myself. I didn't want it to be the Tactical Pinup show. I wanted it to be no safe roles.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you say indie TTRPGs, there might be a couple coming around October. Who knows?
Who
Might
knows?
be, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Might be including one of your favorite podcast hosts as the storyteller. Who knows? Um, but this isn't just a channel. This is a business. I mean, what has been a struggle? What have been some of the struggles of you trying to establish this as like a business and, you know, pushing it to hopefully be successful?
Having very high standards. Because walking into this, I knew that I didn't want any of our productions to look half-assed. I wanted them to have a level of professionalism. So that piece has been really hard because like I know that I have some ridiculously high standards. So I will jump in often and make all of the assets for a production because I want it to look polished. Um, and so that's been a bit of a struggle. Um, Another aspect is like within the TTRPG space of being like, this is the standard we're going to hold at our tables. This is the standard of how we are going to approach things. This is the standard of like how we are going to present ourselves as a pillar of the community without, essentially being an asshat, you know? So I knew going into it, it was going to be difficult. So um, determining like having an advisory board to read through any of our productions to make sure they weren't like super whitewashed, and that we had space for, people of color, the LGBTQIA plus community, you know, uh, people from all different walks of disability, all different walks of life. And I wanted to make sure that we had a space for everyone. So I putting together the advisory board was hard. So you have to find people that are willing to do it, especially in a new business and not get paid. And that's real hard. Um, but I got really lucky and I have some incredible people who are part of this and who are in support and who um have the same vision as I do. So that's been really, really helpful. Also getting a business bank account, and trying to explain, like, we play tabletop RPGs for a living. Um, give us a bank account. Like,
Please.
that's an interesting conversation to have with a banker. Going through and filing for LLC and doing all of that and protecting yourself and like writing contracts and like trying to figure out, like, in the contract, how are we going to protect ourselves, but how are we going to protect our players? Because I feel like a lot of times, like, some of these contracts are very predatory, and I was like, I don't want predatory contracts. I want our storytellers and our players to have ownership over their anything creative that they do. I don't want to take ownership. I just want the rights to be able to produce the stuff. That's it. That's all I want. And I want them to be able to terminate the contract anytime they want. Like, so navigating some of those, like, nuances that you don't really think about when you're putting together, like, an actual play production company like this. That's been the struggle. Worth it.
Because there's not like a playbook.
No.
There's not a playbook. Or if there is a playbook, it's not public.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so that's, Getting a bank account, I would say, and filing LLC status was like the two hardest, like, brain power wise, emotional wise, because I am a Midwest people pleaser, like, trying to figure out the advisory board. That was that was a personal struggle for me, because I'm like, well, I don't want you to be offended, but I want these people, so.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think success will look like for No Safe Rolls?
Honestly, I feel like we're successful right now. Like, I do. And the reason I say that, because sure, would I love to get to the point where I can pay everybody a livable wage and all that fun stuff? Yes, I would. But right now we are fulfilling the mission of take the risk, tell the story. And that is my big focus. And that's something I want this channel to tell stories that matter, stories that are impactful. And we're already doing that. So for me, in my mind, that is a level of success. And our continued success is us holding true to that. And if other people love it, amazing. I'm going to keep doing this, even if, it never turns into this giant mega corporation, like, I'm still going to do it because I want to tell stories that matter.
Hell yeah. So this St. Arnett by Night's not the only story that's been told at the No Safe Rules table. We've had a couple other games, to include a Sabbat game, which I think is really cool. Look, y'all, I've said it on the podcast before. One of the things I want to check off on my AP experience is playing in a Sabbat game. So, I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying.
No, absolutely.
What are the types of stories that y'all are looking for whenever it comes to being featured on the channel?
We are looking for stories that highlight and are player focused. Because it's all great and wonderful for a storyteller to come in and they'd be like, oh, I'm a big name storyteller, but TTRPGs are collaborative storytelling. And I want people to come in who have a passion for storytelling and creating a fun environment for their players to explore. Also, must use safety tools. We have it so that
were there people saying I'm not going to use safety tools?
Oh, Listen, okay, so World of Darkness, edgelords like to do
Yeah, I
this.
know that, but still, were there people approaching y'all saying, "Why can
Yeah.
you say?"
Yeah. Yeah, there was people that were like, you can't have personal horror uh with safety tools. And I went, that is why you can have personal horror, is because you can explore deeper, darker, scarier things because your players have the trust in you that if they're like yellow card, red card, it's done. It stops immediately. No questions asked, no shame. Like I have consent checklists that I have you guys all fill out. And even then, like even if none of you guys have said anything, I check in, in the chat. I'm like, was this
Yep,
okay? Are you okay? How is everyone
fully.
else witnessing it? How are you all feeling? We have content warnings on the channel so that way viewers aren't like shanghaied by something. Um and I check in afterwards and I go, I have an open door policy as well. Like y'all can come to me at any time. If you don't feel comfortable saying anything in front of other people, you can come to me. Hell, you don't feel comfortable coming to me? We have a community manager with no safe roles and she will not pull punches with me. And that is why I brought her on, because she will not be afraid to be like, Bree, you're fucking up if I am, and that's
You're
what I
perfect. You're
want.
talented.
What?
I said you're perfect and talented. What are you
I am
talking
not
about?
perfect, I'm not perfect nor talented. I'm just another person. I'm the world's okayest everything. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Real. So real.
I always say that about my parenting. The world's okayest mom. Like, it's fine. Um, but yeah, for people getting involved, it's you don't even have to tell a story from like you don't have to create your own setting. We on our website we have an ability for people to be like, hey, I want to tell this story and I want to do this thing, and we're like, sure, and we're gonna vet, obviously, and we're gonna check out your content and we're gonna do all those kinds of things, but we very much just love community and love raising people up, and that's just how we are.
Hell yeah. Lastly, what are the stories that you like to tell?
Stories that I like to tell? Real fucked up ones.
That's so true. If you go watch Saint Arnold by Night, it's a little fucked up.
It's a little fucked up. It's a little traumatic.
It's a little traumatic.
No, I like to tell stories that actually matter and explore the characters and the way that players are portraying them. And I like an onion from Shrek, like an onion. I like my stories to have layers. I like my stories to I like to tell puzzles, like stories that have puzzle problems and like mystery and that kind of stuff. I'm not super heavy on the combat. We have had combat. We have had quite a few bits of combat, but there's never been like, we're gonna have this big battle and blah, and whatnot. It's fairly easy to resolve combat. The puzzles though, on the other hand.
God damn it. Those fucking puzzles, man. I'm dumb. Thank God we have
we have
super
Ernest.
detective. We have Ernest, super detective over here.
Hi, here's my 11 successes with a double crit. You're welcome.
That was insane.
That was fucking nuts. That was absolutely fucking nuts. And I was like, cool.
Messy
cool.
critical, double critical. Double critical, messy critical.
Yeah. I was like, I literally cannot make a problem hard enough. So I have to literally be like, there's no roll for this. You have to figure out this fucking cipher on your own, because if I make a roll for this, you're gonna solve it in 2 seconds. Stop speedrunning my game.
Stop it. Yeah, I think there's another thing that you like. Also, it's just whenever we figure things out and like on our own, because like last episode, I finally was just like, wait a minute, this little motherfucker. I was like, this bitch. he's been here the whole fucking time.
Yep.
And I was like, I had to do it because I was just like, Lux would have this revelation. She would be like, wait a minute.
Yep.
This bitch.
This bitch. Yeah,
this bitch.
I honestly, some of my favorite moments are when you guys, the light bulb comes on and you guys put the pieces together and I go, because you're like,
no, you'll just sit there with your thing. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a shit-eating grin. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Of course he wasn't there the whole time. The whole time!
I know, it was like episode 3. It was like, I think it was episode 3 that you guys met Brother Matthias and had no idea you met Brother Matthias.
Yeah. By the way, everybody go watch that episode and then go watch episode 15 and be like, wait a minute. Oh, or like 14 and 15, and it's just like
some of them you guys like have put like the you weren't there for that episode, but when they did the museum heist and then putting the pieces together and going, oh shit, when you finally discover what I had been sitting on and planning, because that's the thing, a good storyteller will, in my opinion, a good storyteller will take what their players are doing and then fold it into their storyline and fold in pieces of it that become revelations later on. And I firmly believe in like I had like a 15-page lore Bible when we first started this whole thing. And I had a skeleton outline of the episodes and what were going to happen. I have revised that so many times that I've just given up on following it and have started doing it episode by episode. Because y'all have just been like, oh, there's a red mailbox. And I'm like, but this thing over here. And you're like, but it's a red mailbox. Why is it red?
The pink tricycle. The pink bicycle.
God, the fucking pink bike. Anili's pink bike. Where I'm just like, yeah, sure, it's on this. And I don't know if that was actually the street. That might be a continuity issue that I just don't give a shit about. But no, I'm like, yeah, sure, you can go get the fucking pink bike out of the goddamn bush. Anili's true power. Summoning bushes wherever he goes.
Summoning, honestly, there's a bush everywhere. It's a city full of bush. You're welcome. You're welcome for that, kids. You're welcome.
Oh my Lanta. Anyway. But you're not wrong.
I mean, without getting too like spoilery, what can we expect from Saint Arnett?
Epic fuckery. Shit dickery to the like 11th degree. No, it's the end of this season. I mean, we're like at the midway point. So like my goal was to shoot for between 30 and 40 episodes, somewhere in that ballpark. So for this season, we're kind of at the halfway point. And so things are going to continue to feel ramped up and chaotic and stressful from here on out. And people can expect twists and turns. What they can expect is season 2 and the shit that's going to go down because of what happened in season 1.
Hooray!
Because I have plans for season 2 that are going to highlight certain aspects of Vampire the Masquerade that aren't typically highlighted.
Oh, great. Oh, fun. I can't wait. Hey, kids. Well, this is the part of the podcast where I say plug your shit. Let the people know where to find you and No Safe Rules.
You can go to our website, which is nosaferules.com. And it has links to all of our social medias and everything and whatnot there. Or you can follow us literally everywhere we're at. It's just No Safe Rules, all one word. We are live for St. Arden by Night on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And that's over on twitch.tv/nosaferules. And the Discord, our Discord, which is linked on our website, because we aren't fancy yet and we don't have our very own like /GG/whatever. But joining our Discord is very helpful as well because we have a community there and it's pretty rad.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for being part of the podcast. I greatly appreciate you.
I'm so excited to have been. I was very honored to be even asked because you have so many incredible people on this podcast. Don't even.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, because you are. Because you're a fabulous, magical, woodsy creature.
Why wouldn't I have you on the podcast?
I don't know.
Exactly. Shut your fucking mouth. Don't say mean things to my friend.
Don't steal my lines.
No.
Like the gift that I sent Nicholas when he first comes in. Welcome to Fuckdome, Scott.
First time. First time.
First time.
But yeah, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Hey kids, if you want to follow No Safe Roles, all the links will be down in the doobly-doo, everywhere you can find things, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of finding people on the internet, you can find me everywhere on the internet, at Shelly Von Miller, to include on Patreon, where we're going to go record our After the Table Patreon exclusive segment called Table Sets. So this or that game. Paid tiers start at $7 a month, and you're helping a disabled veteran who makes content for a living because they can't find a job because she's disabled. Hey. Outside of that, hey, are you going to Gen Con? That's cool, because so am I. And so is After the Table. We're going on the road, kids. By the way, After the Table Live is going to be Thursday, July 30th at 10 a.m. at the JW Marriott. We're having some really cool people on the panel, to include Hannah Harper, aka Hannah Plays D&D. We're going to have Matt Webb, aka Matt Stormcrow. We talked about him. It's super cool. I'm very excited to have him. We're going to have Lex, aka Smallbird Lex, and we're going to have PJ, aka PJ McGaw. I'm very excited about this. Tickets are $2 each, so hey, if you want to buy a ticket for you and your friends, you should. I'm just saying, go to Gen Con. If you're going to Gen Con, come to my panel. I also have some other panels, but outside of that, we're going to go record our table sets thing, and I love you guys very much, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye!